Yeah, 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 yeah. Those that of those of you that have not yet chanted 64 rounds, but you're somewhere between where you are and 64 rounds, how many plan before the end of the day that you'll hit the 64 round mark? Good, good. Could you put your camera down? Don't do that. It's distracting. Well, this time is traditionally dedicated to inviting devotees that have been involved in their journey for the today, the 64 round day, to share um, what your experience has been, starting with so far today, I've completed X number of rounds, and then the sequence of how the day has gone, and most important, at least for my edification, is what were the tools or the inspirations or the messages or the contemplations that gave you the greatest strength. That kind of goes without saying. You can also share some of the obstacles. Just last weekend in Houston, one of the biggest obstacles was everything was great until lunchtime. And then I ate too much and then it wasn't the same. So it was an obstacle. So volunteers, anyone would like to volunteer? The first volunteer may be the slowest one. I also know how to call on people, by the way. Nandimuki. We get to talk now. Yeah, go ahead. He wants to film me, not you. He wants to film me. You're okay. Inconspicuous little you.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, can you hear me?
Yeah, well? Yeah, okay. Yeah. He adjusted the speaker so I can hear.
Okay, good. Thank you. I think one of the maybe two things. The first is last evening when you talk about the topic of why, I was contemplating if we see from the perspective of the tree of bhakti, then which structure would that why fit in? And my realization so far is it is actually the why is actually the embodiment of the entire tree, in the sense that it is only an enduring sense of meaning and purpose that the tree could have the momentum to develop from the seed to creeper into the tree and grow its roots, its branches, its leaves, and so something like we cannot see the soul, but we can understand the presence of the soul by the presence of consciousness in the body. So similarly, we perhaps could not really pinpoint a specific structure of the tree, say this is the Y component, but rather we could understand the clarity and the maturity of that Y by the development and the perseverance of the tree of bhakti.
Of course, that's a nice perspective, and there's other perspectives, but I appreciate. As you were building the preamble, I was thinking something else. But my thinking something else doesn't preclude, and vice versa. Your saying doesn't preclude someone else's. It's a nice picture. So, what else you'd like to share? The second thing?
The second thing is I've been like during the last few lectures, I heard you repeatedly mention this topic of artificial intelligence, and I kind of tempted to maybe just like amplify a little bit on that.
Sure. She's a scientist, by the way. Go ahead.
It's I think there could be many reasons why there is a surge in the interest of researching into artificial intelligence. Like maybe those they want more money or they want more fame. From a scientific perspective, I think perhaps there is also the reason to understand the fundamental questions, like what is life and what is the basis of consciousness.
Yes.
And they seek to kind of understand that better through the artificial intelligence research. And but we need to see this empirical scientific research. Their primary focus are the measurable properties of the natural phenomena, which means like height, speed, weight, and those that are not measurable rather is out of scope for the scientific research.
Right.
Like pain, happiness, feeling of love, those kind of things is out of scope for science. And also the underlying philosophy for scientific research is materialism, which means matter and energy is the fundamental reality.
Yeah.
And consciousness, emotion, feelings are just the byproducts of the interaction of the physical matter. And I think that the difficulty is that by such approach and such a philosophy, in the name of life science, they are really researching into dead matter.
Yes.
Like the Japanese acquaintance of yours in high school year.
Yeah.
He is trying to understand the division of cells through the lens of biochemistry. But in biochemistry research, the first step in order to study the division of the cells is to kill the cells. He already take out that life before he ever delve into the details.
Mm-hmm.
And when you ask him about, say, what if it is the presence of the soul that make the cells divided into two? And I think if just from the perspective of biochemistry, he perhaps will never get into that at that level. And similarly, if they want to say talk about what is the basis of consciousness, and we try to understand the topic just on the measurable properties on the level of matter and energy, that means there is no distinguishment between the seer and the seen, and the process of seeing. And the whole thing is basically, they are like the Mayavadic understanding of the consciousness is all one. There's no differentiation between. So, I mean, unfortunately, I don't think this is a viable approach. Perhaps it's never going to get into a conclusion just by looking into a finer and finer dimension of the matter. And I think that perhaps they need to maybe reflect upon why I'm taking that philosophy, and why I buy into that approach. It is just because I want to have objective understanding of the truth, or is it just because I want to kind of run away from this idea of God and religion?
How was your 64 round day?
It's I think I probably completed around
Around
64.
Around 64. You lost track.
Maybe minus plus minus 2 in a sense.
The abacus got stuck.
Yeah. In between, I think 2, I'm either double counted or discounted. So it's 64 plus minus 2.
You have some additional time also. By the way, this, some of you know, some of you don't know about the high school student story, but just reading today, Burijan Prabhu asked Srila Prabhupada about a worm, and what is it about cutting a worm in two and it becomes two worms? Same as cell division of a frog. Same question. And Prabhupada immediately answered, because the soul enters the other half. And if the soul doesn't enter the other half, then there's no life. So, he didn't explain the criteria, but he just said that, he stated a principle. It's, a nice question. You go ahead. So how many? What was your experience? Principal thing to support it?
Yeah. So 65.
Okay.
And my experience was that without the classes, I don't think it would. So the mental preparation, like you mentally prepared us for this, and that really helped. And what really stuck to me was the utsaha, nishchay, and dharya, right?
Dharya.
So the determination, the patience, and the enthusiasm. And I feel throughout my chanting, I remembered those three things, and one or the other, when it was lacking, I recognized it, and I pushed myself to increase that. And a lot of material that you presented was around that. So yes. I don't remember every single one of it, but I'm sure my subconscious mind was prepared to climb this mountain.
There was different, to amplify what you just said, purposefully, different language was used, but the same message in different language.
Right.
Because there was a theme, and then at least the intent was to be consistent with that theme. Different language, and reinforced through different language, and visuals, because some people relate more to this language or that. and everyone, visuals are nice.
Right. Yeah. And I was surprised, my quality of chanting was, I was asking myself that my regular 16 rounds are not even this good. So, yeah. So I was asking myself, where did this come from? Like this ability to do this. And I concluded that it was the preparation that you gave us in the past day or two.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Did you attend Parmarupa's classes also?
I did. Yeah.
You did.
Yes.
Could you, were there some points that were brought out in his presentations that you drew upon and gave you strength and realignment?
Yeah. Yeah.
Say one or two
Right.
of those things.
So, yeah, the main strategy that he pointed out, which worked for me, was that when you can't focus on the mantra sometimes, try to use the visual of the Lord um, to draw your attention. So, and here I think it was easier because the
Deity.
the deity are present here. So that was also, yeah, a part of it.
Okay. Our dear friend, would you like to share?
Well, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Pranam Vishwapa Jayadev. First of all, I'm not qualified to, speak, but, well,
How many rounds did you complete so far today?
60 rounds.
60.
Yes, Maharaj.
Fantastic.
Well, I agree with Prabhuji, how Prabhuji said, the classes they prepare. Because even last time, me and my mom also joined the 64 rounds last time. But compared to today's rounds, there's a lot more difference because at that time we couldn't attend your wonderful classes. But this time, we kind of got that preparation in our head, as Prabhuji was saying. And also, well, there's nothing very significant because, it was all your mercy. But I love the slides that were being shared, the meditations about the holy name, meditations on the holy name. And one of my favorite ones was the one where it says, "Oh Krishna, please empower me so that I can be grateful to you." And that was really similar to my sankalpa. So,
What was your sankalpa?
well, my sankalpa was that, if I chant, then please let me be more grateful to Krishna.
More grateful?
To Krishna for what I already have, more than demanding for more, which Krishna can give, but more than demanding, focus on what you have already. So I feel like that was the best. And the second slide that I loved was about.
Say the text again. The image and the text, both.
So, Krishna, can you please empower me so that I can be grateful to you every night? That was what the.
Grateful to you every
night.
Every night.
So this is the zest of what I got.
Okay.
And the picture was Krishna with a cowherd boy, or Krishna with a cow, and Krishna in the dreams and all. So it was a wonderful picture of Krishna. And I thought that this was one of the best rounds. Well, of course, because I was in the devotee association, it will be good, and because it's under the guidance of you, it will be good no matter what. But because of these slides, I think that really helped me.
A little bit history of these slides. There's a Mataji that wrote a book and published the book, and she gave her permission that we could use the messages within her book, make slide, put the images along with the messages because she doesn't always have messages. So she said, okay. We gave her a copy of the final product. So, but it was like, this is somebody else's heart and their inspiration. We just combined it with visuals because it has proved for some to be a nice support to keep the energy going throughout the 64 rounds.
Well, my chanting was not that good that I got realizations, but thank you, Maharaj, for arranging this. Hare Krishna.
There's a hand up back here.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my obeisances and thanks for giving your association and wonderful session and to Prabhuji also the technique. It helped a lot basically. So I had a sankalp to complete 64 round before 4:30 and I could able to do. And while doing 64 round of chanting, I observed like mauna that helped a lot. That helped to focus on chanting, and as many as round I was increasing, then my subconscious mind was helping me to control my tongue not to speak. So it was hand in hand, I can say both are complementary.
Good.
And then I felt like someone, mind is being witnessed while chanting because of more round and the technique Prabhuji taught. That way, my mind was not going much here and there. Instead, it was mostly on the deity on my mind, the way Prabhuji gave the technique. And that way mind was being witnessed like handful time it was going here and there. That time I was able to count like how many times my mind was distracted.
You could count how many times. What was the number? Don't you have to tell me?
Few round 2, few round 1, few round 6, like that only.
Only. Congratulations.
That focusing on the different part of deity, considering that it was going handful. So, and then I felt more surrenderance. Like the more I was finishing in chanting, I was feeling more closure and myself surrendering to Lord Krishna. That is my experience.
Have you chanted at an event like this, 64 rounds at a Japa retreat before?
I never chant so much round. At max, I chant 32 once in Nirjala Ekadashi. Otherwise, I never chant 64. It was a wonderful experience today.
Yeah. Anyone else? I see a couple of hands. I see 3 hands.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. I don't know if you remember, like the first evening when I met you, I said my chanting is haphazard. Like forget 64 rounds. I've not even done like even a single round properly. Right. So today I'm still in a state of shock that I was able to make it to 64 rounds. I don't know how it happened yet. Yeah.
Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha. Sarva Siddhi Hoy.
Very much. First of all, I would like to really express my gratitude for giving all of us this opportunity to chant 64 rounds while you're conducting Japa retreats. I know that you had been doing Japa retreats in almost 3 different cities in succession. So it's a great opportunity for all the different grades of devotees to access the holy name. For me, the sankalpa was this time to chant every round attentively. So I was discarding any round that was inattentive. So far I had been able to chant 57 rounds, but I had discarded a lot. But that sankalpa actually helped me see the flow and the flow of mercy that comes by bringing the chanting in sequence. I felt that if we give a break to the chanting, then sometimes it's very hard to get back. So I saw that like over a period of time, the quality was actually improving. I also wanted to acknowledge the visual that you gave for your sankalpa. That was remindful for me. Uh, an imagery that His Holiness Sachidanand Swami created in his first Japa retreat, which I was fortunate to attend, 2005.
Same image?
He gave an analogy that chanting is like walking with your best friend, taking a walk with your best friend, and you were showing the imagery of really
Yeah,
taking a
yeah.
boat ride with
Yeah.
the best friends. I was really thinking about that. Another important experience that I had today was almost around the 40th round time frame. I felt that I was trying to focus on Krishna, but my heart sort of effortlessly went into the direction of remembering all the different varieties of events where I felt your presence in my life. And I felt that Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitamam Vishame Bhavam Budho, that prayer that Krishna, please pick me up and place me as an atomic particle of dust in your lotus feet. I really felt that you have picked me up from really a very wretched condition and then put me on a track for progressive journey. And I was somehow um, filled with gratitude because of that. So what the correlation I was making is that from my side I was trying to um, bring my attention to the holy name, to Krishna, and effortlessly my feelings of gratitude were arousing towards you. And I was remembering one point that you made a while ago, that this is a team effort on the part of Guru and Krishna to lift a soul and define its trajectory back to the spiritual abode. So
Okay. There's several persons that have, you've been very enthusiastic, so give this enthusiastic lady the microphone. And then back in the back.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. It has been a wonderful opportunity to be able to serve Krishna through chanting, like you have mentioned in one of your presentation.
Yes.
Today, I felt my chanting was very light, meaning it did not feel like a burden, even though it was not only 16, it was more than 16. I completed my 64. I did 65. It felt very light, as if it was weightless. I was like, how am I doing it? I actually checked a few times. Did I actually just skim? Then I would look at the time to make sure that that is not what I did. Going through the things that what you had mentioned, like mention your sankalpa and everything. So my sankalpa was to chant in the right mood, in the right attitude, and attitude of humility and mood of service. And I struggled a lot with those, especially humility. And I felt like the slides were really, really, and like Prabhu said, the preparation was phenomenally helpful. The main part I really like, I feel that the reason why it felt so light was because the enthusiasm part. Like the last slide of yesterday's lecture, you had the meditation of Japa, enthusiasm. I need you, Krishna. And the picture of the boat riding with Krishna is that Krishna loves me. He cares about me. So both of those were so helpful that, yes, I have a goal to reach, and that enthusiasm was there because of that. Obviously, being in the temple, in the surrounding, seeing everybody chanting so nicely, so wonderfully, was a very good and a great push. but overall the experience was, I felt like I wanted to go more. It would have not been a problem. It literally felt like that. It was not like, oh, 64, I did it. Oh, it was not like that. And I feel that with my daily 16. Oh, finally, I got done.
For just to feed on your enthusiasm, fantastic opportunity to stay in that zone is Ekadasis. And again, just today, Prabhupada was explaining, he was asked, what's the significance of Ekadasi? And he gave an answer, practical phases of the moon answer, but it's particularly auspicious, and auspicious means increase, specifically increase chanting, increase reading, and decrease on the material side. But why? Because it's auspicious. And to do auspicious or transcendental things on auspicious days makes them more effective. So back to the springboard. It's next to codices. Consider what's something that you can do and sustain it. This Ekadasi, the next Ekadasi, and then make a standard for yourself. That's a realistic standard, and go for it. And then, and prepare yourself. Some of the things like we just did, but some things that work for you. Images, messages.
Yes, I will. Thank you for the instructions.
Yeah. There's a devotee, in Houston, a devotee decided, I didn't suggest, but he did. He took some images that he liked. He used AI to create other images that he liked, and some messages, and he creates this little thing so that he can next to Kadasi, he can go through that little slideshow that he himself created, and connect, prepare himself, and connect, and stay connected.
I was actually contemplating on doing that.
Okay, can resonate. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Sure. In the way in the back, raise your hand. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I'd like to say thank you to you and
Paramarupa.
Paramarupa Prabhu for sharing this knowledge with us. For me, my chanting was getting so bad. When my mind runs off, I'm not even knowing that by the time I check the beat, I'm already halfway, and I'm not even listening to myself, but I'm already halfway down the wrong. So my takeaway is to always be present, and who is your shelter?
Yeah.
And what Param
You heard it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mara.
Stay with it.
Thank
Go ahead.
you. What really helped was when Prabhu said, do 4 rounds at the feet, different parts, like meditating on different parts of the Lord body for the different segments of the round. So those 3 things combined, I think should make some improvements. So I didn't make it to 64 rounds, but at least of the 32 rounds, most of the time I was present.
Okay, good. That's an honest admission. Most of the time. Okay, there's a group of teenagers somewhere in the center of this setting. Any of you teenagers would like to volunteer? Because I also know how to volunteer you if you don't volunteer. Someone say yes. She's nervous and shy.
This wasn't my best 64 round day ever. I think it was probably one of my worst 64 rounds days. I was trying to think back to the last time I did 64 rounds, and it was 2 years ago at Festival of Holy Name. And it was one of the days that gave me so much enthusiasm for the rest of the year for my chanting. And I think I was trying to think back to why it was that way. And it was being with a group of girls who were like really committed to doing 64 rounds, and we would kind of progress check and having that accountability. And also because it was a longer retreat, being fully present for like 4 days before doing it. But this time I came yesterday afternoon, and I did hear the lectures online, but I don't think I was able to put myself in the right full set mindset to I guess develop the enthusiasm to start. And I think like the first failure was waking up later than what I wanted to wake up. I set the alarm, but then I snoozed it. And then I set another one, and then I snoozed it, and that was instant failure. And half of the 64 rounds is basically failed by not waking up early. But yeah. But after that, I decided my sankalpa yesterday was to at least do one round with full attention. I felt like by setting a number on the quantity, I would end up just doing really fast rounds. So I do think, even though I didn't do 64 rounds, I did one at least proper attentive round.
Good.
So,
Good. Good. Those that struggle, that's a good yardstick. By the way, for those of you that struggle or sometimes struggle. More?
um,
Okay. A comment is don't hold on to an expectation that something in the past is going to be, something in the present plus. Our experiences are variegated, and as you mature, you'll learn. Sometimes and sometimes and sometimes and sometimes, and then the important thing is over the long run. Same. What's your shelter? Yeah, the why and what your shelter is. What gives you a sense of safety and protection and well-being, and it's okay because you're in your place of shelter. That's life. What do we want? So, and it'll take a while to get to that place consistently, but keep striving and you'll get there. Now, your friend who is as reluctant as you are, and we can twist your arm and you can say something.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So the past few weeks, to be honest, my chanting has been very rocky because exams and everything were there. So I was looking forward to coming here, and I think one thing that stuck out to me was in the morning. I was here for some time during the chanting, and I think the reason I was able to focus more than usual is because everyone was chanting, and when you're amidst people who are doing the same, you also feel motivated. And I think that's what I was missing in college, like that motivation through association. So I think that's something I learned from this. And also, in the afternoon when I came, I was here for a little bit too. And I think chanting in front of the deities also helped because having that visual, as you said, of course, here and there, my focus was going quite a bit. But compared to like chanting alone in college, I realized I was able to focus much more. And I think I've learned to somehow like understand that association is very like important, at least for me. Because when I'm alone, I don't get that incentive to chant sometimes. And yeah, so those are my two.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have an idea today what you're going to do for that sadhu sangha factor for the rest of the summer? Not when you go back to school, but the rest of the, now that the exams are over, not summer, winter break. When the during winter break, what are you going to do for sadhu sangha?
I think, well, I mean, I'm staying with her during winter break, so hopefully we can work together to chant and like inspire each other. And also, I think connecting with like other devotees my age and starting, as she was saying, like how to respect, she had like an accountability factor.
Yeah.
So I was also kind of contemplating that. And I think, at least for me, being accountable to someone, like I do that for exams and everything, but for chanting, I haven't exactly done that. So I think that would help me. And
one of the it's not the silver bullet, but one of the methods that works for some people, contemporary, opportunity is a Japa call. At a certain time, everyone dials in, and some reading something from some inspirational Japa book or something, and then just chanting. Where the volume is, you can hear your own chanting, but you're chanting with others, and you know that you're chanting with others, and there's the bell rings and it's over, and you go do other things that you are important. You have to take care of, but some sense of, and if there's somebody that can lead that, or you take turns or something.
thank you, March. I'll definitely work on that.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
522. Yes. Here it is.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. My chanting actually started, I was able to do with the mercy of classes, Association of Devotees, 85 rounds, Guru Maharaj. I was able to finish 64 rounds by 3:30 afternoon. I did not take my breakfast or lunch till then, because previous Japa retreats, I had different experience after lunch, as everybody was discussing. So that helped me. But I just want to share something. It may be totally different from all of others, but I wanted to share. My Japa started 2 a.m. in the morning with my dream. Like kind of, I don't know, I was too much thinking about this pizza delivery AI machine or something. I slept in the night, and then around 2 a.m. I heard beep beep sound. I was thinking that's my alarm, which I set up for 3 a.m., which I do generally when I come for DT service. I thought, so soon it's 3 a.m. I just tried to close my eyes, and immediately I went into sleep, and I found that in front of my door, that beep machine is there. And I was wondering, I opened the door and opened the code or something. They gave password in the dream, and I opened, and there is a chanting bag. Very nice. So,
What a dream.
so I got up, I got freshed up, and then started my chanting around 3:15 Maharaj.
Okay.
So it was a little funny, but I thought maybe. And then when I was trying to chant, my sankalpa was attentive chanting. But what to take shelter for attentive chanting is one of the points I liked is you feel like there is someone sitting before you and hearing your chanting. So I took it, and then I was thinking on that, and then I was like kind of little confused who is before me and all. But I still said, okay, still I'll think someone is there before me. And I saw another quick visual, the Surdas. I mean, it's been a long time I saw that picture image, but that it came like Surdas blind singing and Krishna sitting in front of Surdas and listening. That visual image came. Then I become more attentive. Maybe Krishna is coming here and sitting and listening. I'm not sure if he was or not, but he might be. But I became more attentive in hearing my rounds. And the main thing what I helped and the reason I took the mic is, Maharaj, this prayer is so helping for everybody. I shared and it was helping me in chanting better. Patient prayer of a struggling sadhaka. You shared the first day, last slide.
Yeah. I read it twice.
Yes. Yeah. So,
you took a picture of it.
Yes. And I wrote it also, Maharaj, because I'm getting old. I don't know, with the phone, I couldn't manage. I wrote it and I was reading it and I was feeling like there are a lot of impurities in me, which I was neglecting. After a strong 32 rounds chanting, this was my feeling. But again, when I was struggling when I saw that though you take those impurities or not, I'm going to take your shelter and chant with the same attention. So I came here, I attended your class and everything. One last sharing, when my mind was saying, why not take impurities? Please take impurities from me, Krishna. I was not giving full choice to Krishna that whether you take or take not, but I was telling, please take out. I have realized now I have, but I have no capacity. Please take it out like that. And then when my mind was going here and there, I was looking for shelters. I always do that in Sri Lanka Japa retreat also. I did that and I took shelter of Tulsi Maharani. But this time somehow I was not. So I went into our book room, Maharaj, which is here, right here, the long thing.
Yeah.
I went into the book room. I was thinking today I did not distribute one book also. Luckily, with mercy of the Shyam Sundar and devotees, every day I distribute at least 1 or 2 books. So I went inside and I was just walking 2 rounds in the book room, just touching books, Prabhupada, Leelamrita, Bhagavatam and all. Somehow Krishna sent a devotee.
Yes.
He was a Jain devotee, Maharaj. I just talked to him for 5 minutes. I did not expect him to take also or anything. But just by explaining for 5 minutes, he immediately agreed to take Srimad Bhagavatam Gujarati set. He accepted the set, and whoever has got him here, I just tried to tell both of them, please take your numbers and then we will again. And I could not spend more time because I was overwhelmed with the reciprocation of Krishna. And then I was able to again focus on my rounds. If I say attentive rounds, like Param Prabhu has shared or some other, like Satya has shared 1 round. For me, maybe the first 16 rounds was good, but remaining all like kind of different. Maybe my nature, Maharaj, I don't know. Whenever I see a devotee or a new devotee coming in temple or somebody needs any kind of help, somehow I stop my chanting in the middle. I go there and help them. And again, I start my round again to focus. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So I was just feeling how to think, am I okay or should I be okay or should I just not think at least this one day, 64, I have to focus and do something like that. Yeah, Maharaj.
I want to respond. 3 things. Krishna cares. Krishna hears. And even a little, like this Sankalpa exercise, that's what we're identifying it as. It's a way of focusing our interaction with Krishna in a particular way. The intention behind the activity of, in this case, chanting japa. And Krishna hears. Like you shared one, I'll share something just came to my attention. There's a devotee who's a professor at a university in India. I won't say where. And he was thinking, da 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 da. I think it's time for me to retire and move to Vrindavan. You know the devotee, but I won't say his name. So, I didn't scold him, but I said, our life is meant for service, and you have a capacity. So, look to our founder Acharya, and look at me, and what's retiring? What's that? So consider, so he considered, and he just this morning, it's 64 round day, so it just was seeing there may be some urgent message. Somebody has a heart attack, or who knows what, something so urgent, something. So I just checked, and he expressed thank you, and now I have this assistant director of such and such university somewhere, da 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 da, and it's not far from Vrindavan, and I'll be able, to have a platform to speak to all kinds of people, intellectual people and student people and other people, because of that assistant director position. And he was like, wow, just so sankalpa is important in expressing our desire in our relationship with Krishna. He hears, and he cares, and he reciprocates. And it may not be in the way that we expect. It may not be in the time frame that we expect, but know that there's a relationship. That's one of three things. I think that's the main of the three things. That's the main thing I wanted to share. So let's see. This devotee you're absorbed in your cell phone. I want to give you the microphone and get you out of your cell phone. I want you to share what your experience was today. Can you do that?
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, I have so many things going on today. I was in and out, but I was able to do up to 48 rounds. But only half of them are like attentive. The remaining are like just wanted to finish. Yeah, I had to go to the train station and bring my son here, and so many things happened. So,
So you're distracted, significantly distracted.
Yes. I'm also helping Prem Kishore Prabhu to do some video. That's why I was.
I saw you doing the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the other things I wanted to share from what you said is Prabhupada also, I don't know the detail. My understanding is that Prabhupada didn't chant all his rounds at one shot, but at different intervals of time. And when he was chanting, he was chanting. So what you described is intervals is fine, getting distracted and going back, without regulation, without staying focused. That's not a healthy habit or tendency. Being a maitre d' or a guest to hostess when people come, and being social and friendly and all those nice things. my recommendation for you and for all of us is when you're chanting, you're chanting. And then by that focus, when you're doing something else, you're also present with those other things that you're doing, being the hostess or the whatever it is, making people feel welcome. In Houston, there was one Mataji that was like that too, because it was the 24 the 664 round day was a Sunday, and many people come. Just they're not regulars. They come to see the deity because they know they can see the deity on Sunday morning in Haribol. So she would interrupt because but I didn't share it with her, but I'm sharing with you because you brought it up. Stay focused when you're chanting, and with some regulation, take some time and do that social greeting and welcoming, and it means a lot to people that come, that there's somebody that's there, and they show them around and whatever, you make them feel welcome. It's nice. Don't mix the two. Don't mix the two.
There was a devotee who just came first time today. And as soon as he entered, he saw some meditation group is going on here.
Yeah.
And then he was wondering, I was thinking what to do at that time.
Yes.
But I just kept my bead bag on the table. I went to him. I explained him this is what's going on. And he said he wanted to, can he try?
Oh, nice.
And then I took extra beads over there for the new devotees. I explained him the meaning in like 5-6 minutes. And he was able to do in 17 minutes one round. And he felt very happy. And he went to the gift store, got the beads from the gift store and the mantra card, and said he will see me again later. So
I'm looking at Prem Kishore, and I'm looking at you, and maybe there should be some service on 64 round day thing, because it is a Sunday and people come that don't know, and so and somebody can be assigned for 4 hours and then 4 hours, and that's their service. They can chant, or they can read, or they can do whatever, but they're there to receive guests, so the guests feel welcome and they have an understanding, and they take something with them, like these people are nice, they're caring, and although they're busy, they're caring. So that's he's registered with him, the organizer. I'll remember the other thing after when I at some point in time. Are you finished with your sharing? You're shared out, right? You're a little distracted still. Okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for your association. Honestly, I finished 56 round today and 8 is remaining. But this is first time in my life, 56 round. And I wake up at 3:30 today for the Mangala Aarti. And then I thinking, can I do this? I mean, I never did before. So, and
new experiences are nice. Big adventure, right?
Right. So, when the Prabhuji said concentrate on DT, so when I concentrated on Krishna, then I suddenly concentrated on Radhaji, and Radha helped me a lot.
Well,
Really.
Don't tell everybody.
Yes.
Poor Radharani.
As my mother, like
bothering her. And
when I concentrated, and because I'm wake up at 3:30, so my mind said, why you sitting here, go back, sleep, because you wake up early. And then
What did you say to that one?
that my mind said,
I know. What did you say to your mind?
it said, why you sitting here, go back.
No, that's your mind. What did you say to your mind?
Okay, and
What was your reply?
no, I didn't say in my mind, but Radha Rani said, stay here and do your homework and finish, and then go home.
Really?
So that's encouraging me, Radha Rani deities. I focus on, and then I did this.
You're in trouble, you know. You're a Radharani junkie. You become addicted to Srimati Radharani's mercy.
Yeah.
When you don't know what to do, you just go to Radharani and she'll tell you what to do. And she'll always tell you the right thing to do.
Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
And I remember what the third thing was. I was up at 2:00. So you woke up at 2:00 and then went back to sleep. I was up at 2:00 and I had some good rounds chanted before we got here. Okay. That was the other third thing. So rising early is nice. Those rounds early in the morning, zoom. Like they were just, it was a butter knife and soft butter and just, it was so special. Okay. I see the clock says it's 20 minutes left to go. So we can take some more, or at some point we can stop and have Arti or Kirtan and then Arti. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and your divine grace. I was very happy to come here, attend Japa retreat, and it was really nice experience. Your classes and His Grace Param Prabhu's class was also very nice. I have actually applied it. It was really, really very difficult for me, and I couldn't come. I mean, at least like the practice sessions that when Prabhu was actually getting us through. I was there. My mind was going after the end beat and or before, but I couldn't get through the whole thing. Whether I must get, I was not skipping my base, but somehow the meditation was not able to happen. But then, while I'm doing my 64 rounds, until the focusly, I was able to meditate when I was doing my probably like in the middle of the 64 rounds, like maybe after 32 rounds, sometime later. Then like before 48, the third set of rounds. At that time, I could come to the just two beats that I couldn't. Missed two beats, like two sets of meditation points. So while I'm meditating on the Lord's form, so it did seem little mechanical, but Prabhu already suggested us that we have to do this in a feeling way, and it helps that way. So, but then on, I actually continued with the way I generally chant, and it did still have a lot of effect on me that I could concentrate as the rounds progress. Then my intention was for this is that my negative thoughts for devotees will go away. So somehow by Krishna's mercy and devotees' mercy and everyone's like associate chanting with everyone. Like I just by the end of I was really intensely chanting. Yeah, one more thing is in the end I was thinking of. I came to a point where okay, nothing is like I'm able to control in my mind. So let me just give it up and just say, okay, just chant and hear, chant, chant, chant. So whenever my mind is going someplace, I'm just saying chant, just chant, just chant. And I'm keep on, that is my, just chanting the holy names, taking shelter of the holy names and like just chanting whatever thoughts come. Okay, say, you pray to Krishna, say this to Krishna, whatever comes, just a chant the holy names. You know? Then that made me absorb myself in whatever little I could actually get from the holy names, and actually that made my heart free from whatever like envy, pride, ego, this kind of things, and finally uh, the negative thoughts have gone. I felt very happy actually. Why I could see that the last beat when I put it down 64 rounds, I felt like I was shivering. I went to have my dinner and I was like feeling very, uh, I feel some kind of like joy kind of thing. So, and I was thinking, yeah, I want to continue like taking shelter whenever I cannot apply anything. At least I want to take Prabhu's chant format principles, and then I mean the technique, and then go to chant process of chanting the holy names and not thinking of anything. That's what I'm thinking I will do.
Dharma, could you get harmonium? And we'll have little kirtan before the arti. So the schedule is arti is at 6:00, correct? Is that yes? Arti is at 6:00. So we'll have a little kirtan until 6:00, and then after arti, what? What? I couldn't hear you.
We did those already at 5:30. 5:30 6 we have those already in Pamparan. We already got to work the
Oh, arti is at 5:30.
those already.
Tulsi arti. Okay. Anyway, I'm a visitor. Someone that lives here can